Hello, I'm Melania, Senior VP of AI Strategy at data.ai. To celebrate this year's International Women's Day, we invited a few of the many inspiring women leaders in the mobile apps and gaming world for a series of discussions on the amazing impact and contributions these women make every day in the mobile industry. Today, we have the privilege of sitting down with Zoe Bell, a veteran in the mobile gaming space for 15 years, and who helps push out just about everyone's favorite word and logic games as the executive producer of games for the New York Times. Hi, Zoe. Can you tell us a little bit about you and your role?
Yeah, sure. Like you said, I've been in the games industry for about 15 years now, ever since I graduated college. And I've had kind of a pretty straight path, I would say. And this is kind of like a little bit outside of what I had been doing before. So I started with Zynga making Facebook games. And then I started making mobile games with other companies, and especially with Kongregate, which was this mission-driven company, trying to make game development better for all developers. And I loved that. And then I worked at another studio. And then after that, I came to the New York Times. So I kind of started in web, mobile, and now back to web and mobile. And the New York Times has been just a great experience for me, working as executive producer, making mobile and web games that I love to play, supporting journalism in the subscription space, which is a really interesting space for me. And then so I oversee all the producers on the games team and kind of the production generally. So I have my hand in like a little bit of everything, the new feature development, new games, and team health and all the other things that production does. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Wonderful. And thank you for walking us through how you got here. And it really feels that your current role kind of puts together your passions, also a little bit gaming, a little bit of journalism, and just getting out all that together. What type of hurdles would you say you had to overcome as a woman in this industry?
So I would say like the biggest thing is really just representation. Are there other women above me? Are there places I can see, like, early in my career, like I was the first woman hired at our Zynga studio in Baltimore. There was nobody else. What am I going to do? I was also the only producer. So it was a lot of like, oh, I'm just going to make this up while I'm going along. And I wouldn't say it was ever like an overt hurdle, like, oh, you or like a block, like you can't do this because you're a woman. But there is this sort of like seeing your path forward. And I think that was something I had to imagine for myself early on in the games industry, just because there weren't a lot of women. It was 20% women, right? And so the women in leadership roles were slim, not a lot there. So I think that's the main thing. I did, as I spent more time in the industry, I did get to work with some great women like Emily Greer of Kongregate, who were incredibly supportive. And that really did then, help me kind of see myself staying in the industry and growing my career.
Thank you for sharing that. Definitely that mindset of how do you find the path forward and kind of keep pushing for it and then looking around for support. I definitely experienced that a little bit myself as a data scientist. Also, our world doesn't have that many women, and kind of always looking around for who else I can support now that I've grown in career. So really good to hear that from you. So kind of putting that back onto you after you've pushed your way through and kind of received support from others, what advice would you give to women looking to start a career in the mobile development, app development, publishing in general?
Yeah, I mean, there's sort of the generic advice that I would give to anybody trying to start their career, which is just to ask questions, to learn about the business, to, if it's a game company, to play the games, to play games generally, to like immerse yourself in all of that. I think for women, and for any underrepresented group in a particular industry, if you can find the other people in your group, to find the other women, and talk to them. I think sometimes early on in my career, I just felt like, well, I'm going to just be on my own and I'm just going to power through. And, you can do that. And I did that. But I think when I got a little bit further along, I was like, oh, wait, there's other people that are having the same experiences as me, and they can be supportive and they can talk to me about what they did. And so I think finding the other women, finding the other people at your company who are going through similar things can be really helpful, and you can build a community and join a community. I'm in a Slack group with a bunch of senior female game developers, and it's great. There's founders, there's executive producers, there's people really high up at Microsoft and big companies, and just getting to hear what they're going through and what they're thinking about is, even if it's like not related to our gender, it's just related to our experiences, is really, really valuable.
Excellent. So basically being part of a community and organizing a community, if one doesn't already exist there, that's a really good advice, and also a very easy place to start for everybody that is kind of looking for advice or kind of trying to figure out what to do, and knowing that there's that support there. That's really amazing. Thank you for sharing. Which women do you admire? Which inspiring woman do you admire, Zoe?
Yeah, so I have a few, and I think you'll see a common thread when I get to the end. But Sheryl Sandberg, Mindy Kaling, Rachel Bloom, Tara Westover. I am a huge sucker for autobiographies about interesting people, and I think all of those people wrote really compelling autobiographies about their lives and about the adversity that they overcame. And some of them are incredibly funny, and some of them are incredibly poignant. But I think those women have all done just incredible things. And I love hearing about women like that. And I think we should all be talking about our lives, because even if your life seems boring to you, like, what you've done is actually kind of probably interesting to somebody, and people can take learnings from it.
That's really great, Zoe. Thank you for sharing that. I very much agree. Like, sometimes we look at our lives and the achievements we have, and we don't value them as high as we perhaps should. And then we discuss them, we present them, and then somebody else finds a nugget there that is very helpful to advancing their own desires, career, dreams. And yeah, definitely. I love that. Thank you. So what's next for you and for women in this field?
I mean, women gamers, I'm going to talk specifically about game development, but, game players are not what you think of when you think of somebody playing a console game, with their friends and they're a 15-year-old boy. That's not who gamers are. Gamers are, with the advent of mobile devices and then all the games that are on them, are actually a lot more heavily female. And so when you think about who's making the games for these people, I think there's just this great opportunity for women to make games that appeal to everybody, but that also appeal to women that are playing them, specifically mobile devices, but any type of game. And so I think there's just a lot of opportunity for women to make new types of games that are or new mix-ups and mashups that can really have a lot of growth potential. Because I think it's a little bit of an underserved market. It's like, how do we make games that women enjoy, because it's such a huge part of the market. So I think there's an opportunity for new founders to think about that and grow, and then those could be men or women. But I think there's if you're a woman, you have a mindset. I mean, I play puzzle games. Puzzle games are a genre that is more women than men, and so that makes me, I think, better suited to make puzzle games as well.
Great. I'm a puzzle gamer as well, and definitely hearing your call to action of let's keep that in mind as we develop games. I appreciate that. To bring everything to a full loop, would you share with us what's the best advice you have been given in your career?
So I think when you are telling your story, it's important to make it a story. When you're telling your pitch for a new feature in a game or a product, or when you're telling your life story, or when you're just even trying to get anything simple done at your company, it's like make it a story, make it compelling, make it something that people want to listen to. And I think that is advice that I got that was more about like founding a company, but I think it can be extrapolated generally is like just tell good stories and compelling stories to kind of align people around your vision and what you're trying to get done.
Excellent. So all women out there looking to kind of promote themselves, please remember how Zoe started and the advice she's been given. Tell compelling stories and push forward. Keep fighting for it. Thank you so much, Zoe, for joining us today in our discussion on women leaders in the mobile space. And thank you, everyone, for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out data.ai's other inspiring conversations in the series celebrating International Women's Day.